Hi everyone, Annabelle here with AoP Tech, and today we're going to take a look at the digital tool Flipgrid. As part of our Connected Educators webinar series last year, we were joined by Ms. Denise Pimpinella, teacher at St. Mary's Interparochial School. Denise took us through Flipgrid and how she uses it with her students. So let's hand it over to Denise and let her take it away.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Denise, and I am joining you from South Philadelphia, which has been a little crazy today. So thank you for having me. I started using Flipgrid this year in my classes, mostly because it was free this summer, and I didn't have any more excuses to not get in front of the camera. I am a Spanish teacher. I teach Spanish 1, and my students often struggle with using the target language, especially in speaking activities. And if I'm not watching them, they're probably defaulting to English. And so I needed a tool that I could formatively assess and get them in the target language. That being said, I don't only use it in my Spanish classes, I use it for other classes as well. So if you want to open a separate screen, if you're that savvy and do this along with me, you can, or you can just follow my screen. So I'm at flipgrid.com. And what Flipgrid is simply it's the leading video discussion platform designed to amplify student voices. Students can access the grids that you post either in Classroom, you can share it on Remind, you can share them in many different places, and any device that has access to a camera and a microphone, so a laptop, a netbook, a tablet, a phone. So if you're coming to sign up, you're just going to simply sign up for free here. They're going to ask you for some simple things. If you already have a Google account, you use that. If you don't and you have a Microsoft account, you would use that. If you don't have either, you probably have to sign up for a Google account and then go from there. So I already have an account, so I'm just going to go to Educator Login. I practice the very unsafe passing of saving my passwords. So here we have what your educator screen would look like when you get here. You have, I have activities, I can see my grid, I can make mixtapes. I'm going to talk about all these different things and options that are here. Like I said, I started using this officially in September of 2018. So I may not know everything, but I can tell you since then, my students and I have logged 22 hours and 22 minutes of engagement time, which they define as the total amount of time that we've spent in Flipgrid using and creating videos. I go to my activity, you can see I have 4 grids created. I have 13 topics. These are the number of videos. I didn't post all those include my students. And we did 61 videos this week, and I only used it in 1 class. So there is a lot there. So my grids are separated by grade bands. So I have a grid for my 8th grade, I have a grid for my 6th grade, and I have a grid for my 7th grade. And then I made one today for you guys. So you could have an opportunity to use Flipgrid today even. You have, if I were to click on my 7th grade grid here, you'll see I have different topics underneath. So I have a topic for introductions, and it went with my vocabulary unit, Uno Ve. I have a new vocab unit, so we did a Flipgrid on their favorite classes. And then I used it in my math class as well for them to explain their math problems. When I click on any of these, I get my educator screen, and I can see all of my student videos. I can see how many times they were viewed. I can see likes, all that kind of stuff. And I am going to show you what a Flipgrid would look like. So if we go to, sorry, I opened a lot of tabs. You have, nope, sorry. I have, so if I were to go to my introduction one, I created my own video for students to see in response to the prompt all the way at the top of the page. So it said, welcome to our classroom grid, the space where we'll learn together and share ideas. Introduce yourself with 30 seconds or less in Spanish. you start with yo soy. So since I posted first, which I think is a great practice, you will see my video here.
Hola clase, me llamo señora Pimpinella. Yo soy inteligente, ordenada, estudiosa, sociable y trabajadora. Adiós, nos vemos.
So in this video, you can record a quick video of yourself, and I'll do one with you today. And then you take a selfie at the end. Students have the options, and you can either do it if you like them or not. This becomes the thumbnail picture in their Flipgrid, in the grid, and they can add stickers. You can allow them to write on it. You can do whatever you like. This is the educator screen. So when I see this, I could have created a rubric here, and I could have scored them for it if I wanted to give it for a score. I could leave specific feedback, or I could reply directly to the student with a video. So if I click the reply button, it'll take me to a screen to record my own reply. Hi, everybody. So here's my video. I could record it, could put a sticker in, I could do whatever I like there. I'm not gonna actually record one right now. And then I can see that this video has a response, so a student responded to my video as well. It's really an exciting tool. I really like it because it allows students to be themselves. As a Spanish teacher, it makes them use the language. But here is our AoP Tech. So if I wanted to create a grid, I just click plus new grid. Here is our grid that I opened for today. It has 2 topics here. I would simply, create a new topic if I wanted to create a new topic. This is the topic I had planned to use for today. So I just want to show you what the screen looks like. So if I look at edit topic, I can make a question here, give it a title. So I call this Lifelong Learners because we're all taking a class today. I gave you up to 1 minute and 30 seconds to talk in your video. You can do things as short as 15 seconds and up to 5 minutes, so depending on what your class needs. I offered you a tip. If you would like to scaffold this assignment for students, you could give them a tip. I said, just look at the camera and speak. It isn't hard, I promise. You can pick your day that you would like this to show up in your classroom. So if you like to film everything ahead of time, do everything at once, if you're a good planner, you can decide when you want them to display. You can type whatever text you would like here, prompting, directions, questions, ideas. You could put a detailed rubric here if you wanted for students. You have the choice when you display a topic whether you want to monitor the video or not. I have already chosen that this grid has a public domain with it. It does not have to be public. If we go back to my student grids, these are all of my students, and this is what their screen looks like. But these are domain saved. I have limited them to people that have the domain for St. Marianna Parochial School. So I've limited those to what are able to be seen. We have an active topic. You could choose to make it inactive or freeze them, especially if you're just trying to grade them. You can launch the freeze date too, so if you wanted it to firmly close at a specific date for them to put their assignments up, you can. Topic resources, you have the option of including a video. You could record your own video. You can select an image, a GIF, or an emoji of your choice. It's really up to you. You could link out to specific information that you wanted students to read. You can let people use stickers and drawings. I usually let my students because it's intrinsically motivating to them if they can personalize their work. This one's currently public. We could make them private. You can allow people to like videos. You can display the number of videos they receive. So that's up to you. That's your choice. You can allow people to reply to each other. You can have students put a title in. You can provide basic feedback, which would be here. This is where you could use a rubric. You could customize your feedback. You can add additional criteria if you wanted to, and then you can edit each of these functions as you go along. And then I'm just going to update my topic. So now I have this topic, and where am I going to put it? So the question, if we go to share topic right here, You can share with the class. I can share it with individuals by adding them as guests. I can just take this link or QR code and put it directly in Google Classroom on Remind, or embed the code on a personal website that you have. So I will ask Erin to add our code, or if you want to write this down quickly for yourself, the code to this grid is A9FFE5C5. And if we go to this grid, which I have open, you can just record. I asked you, you see up here, this is what the students would see and what you'll see, what my directions are. You see the GIF, you see the tip, and we're just gonna simply record a video really quickly. You have to be logged in because it gives you a name. So I'm logged in, I picked my name. I'm just gonna get a video, and I'm simply gonna press record. Hi everyone, I enjoyed being with you tonight. I hope that you learned something new. I did, I learned that I talk a lot. Thank you, have a good night. And I'm gonna press pause my recording. If students didn't like it, they could go back. If you like it, you can press next. Hi everyone, I enjoyed being with you tonight. I hope that you learned something new. I did, I learned that I talk a lot. Thank you, have a good night. You have. Hi everyone, I enjoyed being with you tonight. I hope that you learned something new. It's gonna keep talking over you, but you have the cutting, you could trim either a side of it, you could put text in. And then the last step is just to simply take a selfie. That's the thumbnail. You can add all these fun stickers over here. My students really like adding hair and eyes, and it doesn't bother me. Some people, it bothers them and they don't do that, but I don't really care. In my classes, I've been using this sticker a lot, and I'm putting them over there. And then I'm just gonna submit. So I'm complete. I have my first video here. Anybody who wants to see it can see it. And I'm just reminded, I got a notification on my phone that somebody has posted in my Flipgrid. So when you set up your original grid, when you set up your original grid, you might choose to edit your grid to either allow for notifications or not. If you don't like a lot of emails, whenever I do these in class, I get like 30 emails at one time. Maybe you turn off notify me, or only turn it off for the class and turn it on later. You can allow them to download your videos. And this is the option where you can pick the community type that you want. So you could limit this to the school domain only if you were worried about sharing things publicly on the web. You could also add a password that you could share only with parents, so only parents and guardians could see the work of your students. There's a lot more features here up here. These mixtapes in the article, I made mixtapes for you to see different examples of it being used in math class, Spanish, and religion. They're long, I'm not gonna show them to you, but they're here. So this is what the grid looks like. These are fun because you can send these out directly too. There's a little plus sign for this code, and parents can get those directly. I did password protect mine, so they all have a password with them. So again, they're easy to use. I like Flipgrid because the kids like it. Most of them are smiling, you can see in these pictures. And they get excited. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you.
Thanks again to Denise for sharing that awesome overview of Flipgrid, a great tool to empower student voice, and it's great for all grade levels and across all content areas. So for more information, head over to flipgrid.com and click on their resources where you'll find more information that'll help you get started with Flipgrid with your students. For additional e-learning resources and support request form, visit AoP Tech's website at www.aoptech.org. You'll find links to a great number of e-learning resources for educators and leaders, as well as the AoP Professional Development and Support Request form. As always, be sure to follow us on social media for all updates on our events at AoP Tech, as well as the hashtag AoP Tech. Thanks for watching. For the AoP Tech team, I'm Annabelle Dotsman.